Greetings everybody, here we go with part 2 of my recap and highlight video of the regional in Prague. If you haven't seen it already, you can find it up there. Let's have a quick look again at the meta share here. We have the juniors, they completely gone with Alakazam and all kinds of Dragapult here. Very interesting. I always like to see what the younger divisions tend to play. That's why I wanted to show this again. Let's see the seniors. The seniors, yes, they have a 38% of Dragapult builds. We have different kind of builds. We have the straight pult, we have the chicken pult, and of course the pult noir we have. And of course we have Lucario, Garchomp, and Mewtwo up there. Let's go to the Masters division. Again, we have many Dragapult builds. We have 7% unclassified. We will see them later in the day 2. And we have also Garchomp, Lucario, and Alakazam in the mix. Let's go to our first match. We have Jonathan Lampreis against Dennis Zinsler, excuse me. Again a Dragapult deck against a Meganium Teal Mask deck here. Dennis starting with a Meowth, also always a bad start. It's not nice to see. Some back before Meowth came out, the worst thing to start was with a fast, but at least you could pivot out and use it later on. Now that Meowth became just completely useless. But we see Dennis starting right with the Puffin for a Dreepy and a Badu, following with a Crispin. Attach with the Crispin to the Meowth and retreat. Attaching another energy to the Dreepy here, and then goes for the item lock. Back to Jonathan. Waiting, I guess, for the shuffle to end. Now, playing that Force of Vitality here, having that Regigigas is a great tech card against Dragapult here. Playing the Judge, cutting down the hand of your opponent a little bit, and bringing that Chikorita. Unfortunately, there is nothing else happening here, and pass over. Dennis really good here, putting pressure and disrupting the opponent, coming with the Lily, fresh 8 cards in the hand. And that Lily brings another Buddy Puffin here, which brings another Dreepy and another Dusk Skull here, developing more and more the board. And another Itchy Pollen, so putting more pressure on Jonathan. Just a draw pass, and that will actually continue for a while. That's why we jump ahead a little bit. Now we can see now there's a nice developed board. Dennis now looking for the 4-price turn, popping some Dusk North and Dusk Globs here to bring the Teal Mask in range. Now with 180 damage on it, 30 on the other one. Establishing already the next Dusk Skull here, and now swinging for the knockout. So the Teal Mask goes down, 2 Teal Masks go down, and another 30 will go on that Chikorita here. Devastating turn. Now let's see what Jonathan has in his bag here. Bringing that Regigigas here, kinda hard to develop all you need now, but you rather want that Regigigas down, seeing you get that Terra Orb for a new Teal Mask. And as you can see, there is nothing too crazy going on right now, even with the Fez, with the new Teal Mask. Even played a unfast stamp. There is not much to do. The writing is on the wall. Even the Meganium to get was pretty hard, because with the Meganium the Regigigas could have enough energy attached because of that ability. All of them are double worth, and now you see there's the concession by Jonathan. We going to a game 2. Dennis, pretty nice game here, very straightforward. But let's go to game 2. Let's see the price cards here. Nothing too crazy. Maybe the Meowth on Jonathan's side could be a little bit problematic, but let's see how things go out. So kicking off things with Jonathan here. Teal Mask, Teal Dance. Very similar to last turn, establishing that Chikorita and that Hoot. And there is a pass. Then a straight going in his turn for that Meowth Lily combination, grabbing that Meowth, attaching first one, and then bringing that Lily 8 new cards. And that Lily gave him that Poképad to bring another Bidoof, since this worked out pretty well. Another Dreepy and Duskull on the bench. Looks already pretty nice, but the Badoon last round, it did a fantastic job, so why not try it again, right? Little thinking here on Dennis' side, and here we go again, that itchy pollen. And again, draw pass by Jonathan here. It starts the same like last round. Dennis not even finished with his shuffling. And it goes the same like last round. That's why we jumping ahead a little bit. But first we can see here getting that Dracloak down, and then we got all that Recon Directive. Okay, we jumping forward a little bit. And we have a very similar board state like in the last game. You see bossing the damaged Teal Mask here, popping that first Dusknoir on that Teal Mask with the energy, popping another one. In consideration, no. Again here, 180 now on that Teal Mask, and putting that Fez down, and now going for that 4 price turn again. Teal Mask, and the rest of that 30 will go on the other Teal Mask. Yes. No, it's one on the Teal Mask, and the other 2 will go on that. No, 1 splits it on all other Pokemon here. Let's see what Jonathan response is. Establishing more Teal Mask, more energy on that board, as bringing all that energy on that Teal Mask to bring down that Dragapult. Grabbing some more cards here, energy, and I haven't seen that, and now brings that Hoot, not Hoot, the Noctowl. You see the Force of Vitality came down, another Teal Mask bringing back with that Night Stretcher, another Teal Dance, another E-Switch coming down to provide the TMS in the active with more energy and knocking down that Dragapult, but first drawing more cards. Drawing cards is always a good thing here. And the Judge. Little board check, knock out that Dragapult. And Dennis actually only needs one energy, one Dragapult here to get things right. I guess probably some Finning first to draw everything you need right now. Or just a deck check. Okay. Going back with that Ultra Ball. Grabbing that. Yes, and that's the game for Dennis. I think even Jonathan had a pretty nice partly comeback. Very convincing for Dennis. Let's go to the next round. Checking the prize cards, Daniel has 2 Buddy Puffins and the Unfair Stamp Piper. Maybe the patch run in the prices could be a little bit problematic here. And Daniel will kick things off. So if you haven't seen Dragapult with Daniel and Piper playing a Zorak deck here, even 2 Buddy Puffins are priced on Daniel's side. Still got 1 in hand and the Poképad just to make sure nothing happens like an itchy point, so you can evolve your Pokemon next turn in any case. Now, Piper's turn, getting that Zorua down and a Poképad here. Establishing more Zoruas here, because you want to have that and Zorak more and more to trade. Back to Daniel. Going for that Dawn now for a Badu, Dracloak, and a Dragapult here. So actually, Daniel can evolve 2 Dreepies here and got the Badu, so can put Piper now under item lock. Grabbing another Dreepy with that Poképad here. Yeah. Piper evolving that Enzora to a Enzora, evolving 2 Lilies and trade. Since there's not much to do, Piper only can pass here. But already has 2 energies on that Enzora. And Daniel is bossing that Zorua for 2 damage, hitting for weakness and still putting her in item lock. And now we see some trades, drawing more cards. And now starting to establish that the Manatán, very nice way to knock out multiple Pokemon, but she could have attacked, but nothing much to see. So now Daniel is going with that Dragapult now. Of course, the Recon Directors, but I cut them out. I think that's a pretty good way. And also getting rid of that Fast to grab that Shaman to protect your Pokemon from that Darumaka's attack here. Playing that Crispin, getting 1 energy on that Monkey Dory and another in the hand. And attached to that Dracloak. And for more itchy point here. Even he already has that Dragapult, wants to keep it slow and disrupt as good as possible. More trades coming in. Now they're all done. And now going for that boss. Grab that Shaman. goes with that Ant Castle, making it free retreat for all Ants Pokemon. And now bring 30 damage to the other side of that benched Ant Zoroark. Tough call. Putting it on that monkey. Probably to get that down afterward. And now going for that flare attack. 50 damage on that shaman. Preparing for a nice Darumaka turn here. Getting more Drag Cloaks on Daniel's side now. And bringing that Judge here. Bringing that hand down to 4 cards. But against a Ants Zoroark deck, it's not that effective because you can just draw up. And not even pushing the damage on to the other side. And now again, trades. Now they're all done. And Piper here actually going for that rolling tackle for 20 damage actually. Wants to keep that a little bit longer on there, preparing for that multiple price turn. Probably Shaman out and then the Darumaka. That's how it goes. And now we get into that Monkey Wars, pushing damage there, and let's see how things work out. Another trades. Get done with the trades. We're pushing back the 30 damage this time to the monkey. Ah no, sorry. It was the Badu actually that got knocked out here. And now Piper embracing the dark arts with that clutch play here. But not before putting more energies on those and Zoroarks here. Now with that 2 Monkey Dories, kind of hard. Now Dennis can just heal off completely his Shaman. Putting all that damage from Shaman to that and Zoroark. We see some trades again. And now Piper playing that scoop up cycle. Get that Zoroark out of the active spot. Evital coming in the active. As you can see, the deck already by Piper is pretty thin already. So you have to manage here, checking how many cards still in the deck here. And Daniel coming with that boss's order again. Pushing some damage to the other side again. Yeah, little bit math here and the pass again. So now we see 2 energies needed for that retreat, since that is still a thing. Oh no, she thinks about, because the Shaman could be gone with 2 Monkey Dory actually, if she has those in hand. Considering, and bringing back Evitar with that clutch. Nothing on Daniel's side here. Nothing too crazy. Attaching an energy to Zoroark, and another clutch play again. Yeah, that's why I said in the beginning this was such a grindy match. So yeah, pushing that damage to the other side here. Yeah, not much to do on Daniel's side. Even the recon directive can be bad, because now both decks are so thin, and now she is going aggressive, taking that Shaman out with that second Monkey Dory here, and knocking out 2 Drag Cloaks here. seeing there's a Barcelona been established, and now that was one of my highlights actually of this weekend. So Daniel is now playing a Lily's Determination, drawing 6 cards here, but still has 6 prize card, means he has to draw his complete deck out and has to concede. First match for Piper. That's, yeah, I said it. It was a very, very grindy match, like. But I think that's the first. Let's go to the prize cards. We see 2 Badu prize on the left side. Maybe the Zekrom a little bit tough, but there's the attachment. And then we go to 2 Buddy Puffin. And since both Badus are priced, there will be only 3 other Dreepy coming to the bench. Going again for that Ultra Ball Meowth to Lily combination. Going new cards, and now it's Daniel's turn. Again, also a Pokeball and the. No, it's the Dracloak play, not the Meowth. Excuse me about that. Another Ultra Ball here for another Dracloak. Get that engine rolling. Yes. And back to Piper. Evolved all of her Pokemon, establishing that Darmanitan, and see all those recon directives. Like I said, the engine rolling, keep it rolling. Now we see the Dragapult coming to play and the Area Zero under depth. And another Monkey Dory that worked out quite well. And now also the Shaman protecting from the Darmanitan. And the Lily's play fresh new cards. Retreat into Dragapult, and now getting aggressive. 200. Ah, no, it was actually just the Jet Headbutt here. Okay. It was only the Jet Headbutt here. Piper immediately slams down that castle, getting rid of those Pokemon on Daniel's side. And again, we go with the Scoop Up cycling, but this time grabbing that Meowth for later. Evolving into Darumaka and establishing more Zorua or 1 in this case. And going from that to the trades, of course. And bringing down another Monkey Dory. Having it ends PP up. Playing a Pokepet, looking for that Zekrom. Now pushing some damage onto the other side. Shaman is the target again. Yeah, that's the little nuisance. No, it's not. It's Dragapult actually. And going for that Shred attack by ends Zekrom here. Yeah, and immediately try to charge the Monkey Dory. Of course, we see the recon directives have been done, and now targeting that little Zorua. Not. Yes, putting all the damage, so Piper has not that much damage to work with and to throw on Daniel's side here. And we see the traits again. So as you can see, Piper took 2 prize cards. I skipped it. That was not too crazy turn, just a big knockout. Then we see the boss by Daniel. Skipping the attack. Have I seen that? Yeah, there's only pass, probably because of that Ants Reshiram attack. Though I don't even think she plays it. Yeah, so I ran for a Fess, for a Meowth, and I think it was a third. No, it was Patch Run. And now going with that one, she retreated with the normally, then with the Patch Run, and due to the Binding Mochi, the damage output grew and could make more than enough damage with the Monkey Dory pushing more damage to it. 250 second attack by Zekrom, and then we push it 40 with the Binding Mochi and another 30 with Monkey Dory, and that makes 320 even. So Daniel played that Crispin to charge the Dragapult here, getting that risky Ruins. Another Night Stretcher to grab the monkey. It's all about to push more and more to the next, to the Pokemon on your opponent's side. Knockout on that Zoroark and putting 60 on and Zorua, preparing for the next knockout. And now there is the Black Belt training, so that's a very convincing 2-0 for Piper here. Let's first check the price cards. We have 2 Lilies on the left side and 2 Pokepet on the right side, but at all I wouldn't say that it is nothing too crazy. Yes, as you can see, Mateusz here playing a Team Rocket deck. Not too many people who really play that. Starts strong with that Proton, brings that special energy on that Mewtwo. Get ready, playing another Ultra Ball, grabbing that Spidops, seeing that Badu to prevent that you can't play any items. Talk about the items, Alexandru playing here that Buddy Puffin, and going from that to the Lily. Fresh new cards here, playing another Buddy Puffin. Well, this is actually the perfect start right now. 1 Torchic, 3 piece, and there's the second Torchic. That's such a magnificent board right now. That's what you want. That's exactly what you want. Back to Mateusz. Playing that Ariana allows you to draw till you have 5 cards. If you have only Rockets Pokemon in play, you can draw up to until you have 8 cards. Mateusz now evolving that Spidops, and back to Alexandru evolving that to Combuskin and 1 Dracloak. Getting that engine rolling. Ultra Ball for probably another Dracloak. You want to fin through that deck as fast as possible. So yeah, skipping those Recon Directors, going for the Crispin here. Of course, right now in this build, I don't know if you even play the Monkey Dory, but going for 1 Psychic, 1 Fire Energy, spreading them to your Dracloaks a little bit, so you can later just attach whatever you need. And another itchy point, putting more pressure on Mateusz and disrupting and not letting come in this game. Yeah, thinking, and there is another Proton here. Little bit not so nice. Proton only grabs you basic Pokemon, and there's only the pass That's harsh. That's harsh. And now a huge recon director is incoming, grabbing that boss's order, evolving the Dracloak here, attaching another energy, and now boss's order on the Mewtwo, bringing that in the active, having some damage on it, pretty nice. So 20 on 200 on Mewtwo, and the other 6 will be, yeah, so the knockout on the Tarantula, and no, just, yeah, one knockout, the other just damaged, bringing that in range probably. So you might saw the maximum belt. That's a little bit odd since you can't make enough damage on that Dragapult with it. Now jumping a little bit forward, as you can see, the Mewtwo got knocked out, and Mateusz soon will knock out the Dragapult with the Spidops here. So yeah, the Dragapult is gone now by that Spidops, and now we see the Blaziken actually got promoted. We see the Risky Ruins, Seething Spirit coming here, charging the Dragapult? No, the Blaziken. Actually, good idea, because you have to be aware of that Rocket's Mimikyu. Now the boss's order to, no, not the Articuno, the Mewtwo. And going for 200 here. Yes. So now we are in the final moves here. Promoting that Dracloak, using 2 times Seething Spirit, and putting the 2 on the Spidops to have all in range, and that's the concession. Alexandro, very nice plate here for the first win. Next up, let's see the prize cards. Actually, this time we have 2 energies on Mateusz's side and nothing too crazy on the other. Maybe the judge could be a little bit bad to have it in the prize cards for later disruption. And you see here, we see the Mimikyu and the Tarundel, and only a pass by Mateusz. Getting rid of some cards here, and there we go. We see the classic, yeah, we see the classic Meowth. The Ultra Ball for Meowth, Meowth for Lily. There we go. Does come, yes, another Dreepy goes down, another energy attachment for the Torchic in case you want to retreat into the bud. What an amazing Lily too. Buddy Puffins here, a little bit overbench probably because of the Meowth, but 3 Dreepies, 1 Torchic, and of course we get the Badu for that nasty item lock. Mateusz going with that Lily here, 8 cards, and doesn't get much out of this. 1 attachment here, and he doesn't go for the, no, he goes for the knockout here. That, what's it called? Takedown, 30 damage and 10 to your own Pokemon here, knocking out that pesky little Badu. So Alexandro played that Pokepet for a Dracloak, going into those Recon Directive, of course. That's what you do most of the time. As I said, you want that engine rolling. There we go. Another Ultra Ball. Wait, that Puffin and that Badoo for another Cloak. And he grabbed that Badoo with the Night Stretcher here, retreating that Torchic and evolving it to Combuskin here. Getting a nice board set while Mateusz is actually just trying to get along. Yeah. So Mateusz played that Proton, getting 3 basic, Mewtwo, Little Spider, and the Articuno, protecting you from the Phantom Dive on your basic Team Rockets Pokemon, and Alexandru is promoting that Combuskin here. Draws and goes to the Recon Directive. As you can see now, we have 3 Cloaks evolving in that Blaziken here. Then we see the Seething Spirit and actually a pass because Alexandru couldn't charge his Blaziken, unfortunately. Let's see what Mateusz, since he now can play his item cards. He goes Bug Catching set, grabbing some energies here. And now things get rolling here. Got the attachment on the Mewtwo, knocking out that Meow for 2 prize cards. Very solid turn right here. And now going back to that Blaziken here and grabbing another Pokepet for another Torchic. Wants to keep that on the board. And bringing that Risky Runes for those sneaky knockouts later with a Monkey Dory, so you can put a little bit here on damage. So there was a attempt to boss. Checking the prize cards, and not the prize cards, the hand cards on Mateusz's side. Seething Spirit, and now another energy on that Torchic to get ready as soon as possible. So yeah, now 200 to the Mewtwo, Transceiver coming down for a Petrel, and the Petrel grabs that maximum belt. So right now, damage output, as long you get 2 energy cards, there's 1, there's 2. So that's the game 2 for Mateusz here. Great game. Could just keep his game plan and walk through the Blaziken and the whole Badoo, where I think the way to go here. Let's see the prize cards. Okay, we got 4 energy cards on Mateusz's side and 2 rare candies. I think the 2 rare candies are actually not too bad, because nowadays with those Dragapult builds and the engine of Cloak, you just ran through, probably just to get a quick Blaziken in game. And that's all. We see a Clefairy and we see a Dreepy on Alexandru's side here. And Mateusz starting with that Proton for a Mewtwo and 2 little spiders here. Now getting that factory here, drawing 2 additional cards when you play a Team Rockets supporter, bringing down those Pokemon here and the energy attachment, yes. And going with that Ultra Ball for another Spidops, just in case there will be a Badoo. And Alexandru played that Lilies already and now goes for those Buddy Puffins right here. Gets his bench as you go. There we go. There we got the Badoo, there we got the 2 Dreepies, and we got a Torchic. Pretty nice start here. Yeah, the risky runes actually putting 2 damage counter on that Torchic, attaching 1, yeah, preventing not being charged like last round, preventing that, and Badu shutting down everything. So now Mateusz attached 2 special energies on that Mewtwo, which might be a little bit hefty here. Let's see how things work. Let's go back to Alexandro, evolving that Combusken and again that Ichipod. Mateusz just bumped the stadium, grabbing that Giovanni and targeting that Combusken here, but not before. Drawing 2 more cards with that factory here, giving 1 energy to that Spylops and now knocking out that Combusken. But there is the Fess, drawing 3 cards if one of your Pokemon got knocked out last turn, and we see that Lily, which he plays for fresh card. So we see there was a failed Buddy Puffin, but we can still re-establish the Torchic. Yeah, little misthinking here. Thought the risky runes is still in play. Still going for the Torchic here. Really wants to establish and play around this Rocket's Mimikyu. Yes, that's it. And there we go. There still the itch. And Mateusz going for that knockout on that. But do here. 2 prize cards already taken by Mateusz. Let's see what he got in his bag. First the Recon Direct. No, first the Fast. Oh. That's, well, yes. Why not? Recon Directive. Alexandro playing that Buddy Puffin again, re-establishing the Badu probably and keep the item lock going. Now playing the Judge for 4 cards on both sides here. And let's see. And yes, as predicted, Torchic comes back and Badu goes into active, keeping that item lock going. Not much to do here, but knocking out that Badu and going now into that Dragapult, or Dragclog, excuse me. At least 2 more energy cards has been took out of the prize cards on Mateusz's side. Is a little bit more to play with here. And now we see the unfair stamp. Nicely timed. Combusken comes down. And we need 1 more energy. That comes with the Crispin, yes. So we got the Psychic energy, we got the Fire energy coming. And the Psychic going to the Dragapult by the Crispin attack or whatever, and the other goes to the Dragapult here. Cloak, my goodness. Monkey Dory coming down and going for the attack. No knockouts right now, but preparing all the Pokemon around here to get some damage on it and prepare for a big multiple prize card turn. And Mateusz still developing his board right here. And that's actually funny because Alexandru took the dices and Mateusz did not attack here. In the after match interview, Alexandru said he probably did it to not give him the damage for the Monkey Dory, but I don't know if this was the best idea. So yeah, hand attachment for that Blaziken, because we can already see that Mimikyu waiting there. Mewtwo going down with those 2 special energies and 60 on that Spidops. Mateusz now grabbing with the transceiver that Archer. Yes, Archer being played. Little bit disruption here. Now he played also the factory and goes for 120, 150, excuse me, 150 damage on that Dragapult here. So yeah, here we see the boss going for that undamaged and partly charged Spidops, pushing 30 to the Mimikyu. Yes, because you can't target that one with the Phantom Dive here, and knocking out 1, 2 Spidops, and now Alexandru really has kind of the edge here. Mimikyu has been promoted with the attack of Mimikyu. You can actually copy any Terra Pokemon attack, and the Phantom Dive copy would be a nice play. And again, the transceiver for the Archer. Mateusz really just looking for that last energy he really needs so bad right now, like so bad, to get the attack rolling. Tries to disrupt again and hope he might draw into the energies he needs, but looks dire. So yeah, there's something going on the table here. Yeah. So now going with the Ultra Ball. Yeah, grabbing that Cliff Fairy, because with the Cliff Fairy right now, even though the Dragapult already has 200, which would knock it out, you could go for the new Drag Cloak or Dragapult, Dragapult of course, and knock it out immediately with that Fairy Zone. Now we see the disruption, but now that's exactly the problem. So with a boss, you could just knock out and have game here. So let's see how things work out. Yeah, we got the knockout on that Dragapult, boss's order on Lily, and that's the game for Alexandru. I think this was one of the most entertaining matches, I have to admit. You don't see that Mewtwo build too much, and yeah, Dragapult in the end wins, as usual. Another day, another recap done. Oh my god, I have to admit I kind of underestimated all that, but I still think it's a great thing, because I'm a big sports fan, and if I couldn't watch something live, I always wanted to watch at least the highlights. And as I said in the first video, check it out if you haven't. I think it's sometimes a little bit hard to get through all the 8 hours of the tournament. So yeah, I hope you like it. If you have any ideas, critique or advices, let me know. If you made it that far, I would really appreciate if you give me a like and subscribe, because those videos are really grindy, just like playing against Piper with the Zora. So yeah, part 1 of day 2 coming up. I don't know if I make it 1 part or 2 part, probably 2 part, because it's so long. So yeah, have a nice one. Peace.